Oh, hello, Facebook land. This is Mike George coming at you with a Facebook Live here. Ah, I just did a cliche of mine. I've been reviewing a lot of my old Facebook Live things and noticing certain idiosyncrasies about my kind of about the manner in which I talk to you guys, and just trying to refine some of my stage presence and my camera friendliness and so forth. And it's one of those things that I notice that I do almost every single time when I do these Facebook Lives. It's almost like I do this little sigh right after I sort of introduce the Facebook Live broadcast. So I don't know. It's always fun watching yourself on camera. I used to hate it. I think a lot of people, when they first get around to seeing themselves on camera, there's that kind of discomfort of seeing yourself, hearing your own voice. I think I've done enough of these by now, including many, frankly, quite lousy ones, that I've kind of stopped giving a fuck about all that kind of stuff. And, I figure when compared to the quality of what constitutes entertainment in the year 2024 on things like TikTok and so forth, I think I produce some pretty decent quality content, if I may say so myself. But here we are during the conversation, and which is an opportunity for you, the viewer, the zero viewers right now watching, to offer some candor. I'm kind of exhausted right now of failing at everything that I've been trying to pursue with my side hustles and even with Crimson Rouge. I left my last job in large part to try to devote some time into building a foundation for the future of this organization. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm looking at my clock, I'm looking at my calendar, and I'm becoming more and more aware of just how long it's been since my last actual engineering job. And this is starting to get to the point now where it's it's becoming excessive. And I'm really starting to question myself on some really fundamental levels as to whether all of this time and sacrifice, frankly, and energy and passion and etc., whether it was a big giant waste of time. Because it's just I continue to be puzzled by certain things with the organization, by the response, quite frankly. And one of the other idiosyncrasies that I've become aware of by watching myself on these lovely little chats is that I talk a lot, and that a vast majority of the time that I do these Facebook Live things, it's me kind of shit. It's like, it feels like 90% of the time I'm just kind of talking to the void. And, I understand that in the age of social media, like, there's just an overwhelming abundance of shit out there to watch, to consume, to, So, I don't expect, like, y'all to choose watching me over watching something that's like professionally produced for network television, if that even is a thing anymore. But I really would love, there's a part of me that really sort of asks myself, am I really like this divorced from reality? Like, have I sort of gone on this sort of divergent little tangent farther and farther away from sort of the reality of the matter? Basically, like, am I a fool to think that I am actually kind of good at doing this, and as something that I enjoy doing, and something, I'm not trying to say that I'm the, a seasoned actor or a seasoned professional at engaging with an audience on camera, but shit, I think I produce at least some medium quality shit. I can actually sit through myself and watch myself talk without feeling like this weird like self consciousness, I guess, of sucking. And I'm really trying to parse how much of this is simply me, kind of me being more confident in myself versus how much of this is misplaced and sort of, dare I say, delusional. Because, like, hell, ever since, I just can't help but think back to the beginning of Crimson Rouge, where some key individuals in my life, like, including best friends, like, looked at this thing as, like, a joke. And I could never really put my finger on why that was the case. And every time it seemed like I would sort of kind of try to dig deeper into why nobody took it seriously, it just continued to confound me and kind of continued to upset me. I don't know. I really look back on sort of the legacy of Crimson Rouge and kind of, albeit it's sort of been a meandering quest. I will give you that, and that has been a consistent sort of critique of this whole endeavor, and it is something that I've tried to address, and has been sort of my number one focus during this past like year or so of my what we'll call sabbatical, is really trying to solidify a more cohesive mission for this whole Crimson Rouge Studios thing. I think I have sort of honed in a little bit on it, but there is more that can be done. But again, back to you guys about this. Like, I want to hear some of your opinions, and I understand that very few, if any of you, have really gotten involved or even really looked at the website of Crimson Rouge or even kind of have any idea of what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's okay too. Say that, please. Like, that's also feedback. Like, zero is a value. It's sort of an enigmatic value, mind you, but it is something that I do wish to know. And judging from the Facebook analytics here, I'm looking at the insights, as they call it, on what Facebook calls engagements. I see a lot of zeros so far. Beats me. Am I doing these things at the wrong time? Am I doing these things, or is Facebook just kind of lousy at actually distributing the shit that I make? Is it the algorithms? Like, what is it? What do I need to do? What do I need to do better in order to sort of expand my outreach, to kind of have more impact with doing these types of broadcasts? And not just these broadcasts. These broadcasts are obviously not, they're kind of a small sort of, kind of a tiny little segment of what Crimson Rouge is. Really, it's not really a thing with Crimson Rouge. Crimson Rouge does consist of, one of the elements that I wanted to build into Crimson Rouge, of course, was a sort of social media-esque platform for sharing content that's good and that is sort of produced in our own community, like within our, within the queer community, within sort of the physical communities, the cities and towns that our members live in. And so, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if this whole thing has been a giant waste of a significant amount of my time. Specifically, say, about 6 years of my life. 5, 6 years. Like that's a when being 38 years old, that's shit. What is that? Six out of let's call that six out of that's about a third of my adult life that I've spent on this thing. And again, very much, at some points in time, at the sacrifice of my lucrative engineering career. And damn, I mean, I didn't leave, I never left, I've never left my job thinking that somehow this was going to be the magic ticket that I was gonna net more money doing Crimson Rouge than, say, working in the utility industry in my professional engineering career that I've spent copious amounts of money and time and effort and to get a master's degree in. But my goal is not just to be an engineer behind a desk. My goal is to make impact with my expertise, not just in the industry, but at large. Because so much of the energy puzzle, as you guys know, is not just what companies like AEP and other electric power companies do. It's what you guys, it's what we all as a market, as a society, demand. Really at the end of the day, these big evil electric companies are trying their best to figure out what the fuck the general public wants as far as energy, as far as sort of the sustainability element and then the costs, of course, the bottom line. And so, anyways, like, for me personally, this past year or so has not just been about me trying to, I guess, sort of build a new foundation for Crimson Rouge, but it's also been a sort of an attempt by me to sort of redefine my career a little bit. I don't want to just be pigeonholed in the utility industry. The way I look at this whole thing, and sort of my motivations for going into the field of study that I did, which was renewable energy implementation on the power grid. The way I look at things in the sort of the big picture is, the electric grid is clean. We've done fantastic work in my industry, at companies like AEP and utilities around the country. Like we've done fantastically at greening the grid. All right, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my colleagues, my former colleagues, a lot of which are still my really dear friends. Like, just as an overall industry, I think we done good. When I look at, again, the big picture as far as global consumption of global energy consumption, and we have to remember though, and at the end of the day, the goal is to one key goal is to reduce carbon emissions so that we don't bake our continue baking our planet to death. So again, I think the electric power industry, the grid, including the generation aspect of the power generation aspect of this, like, I think we did our part. The way I've always looked at this this energy puzzle is that the next low hanging fruit is cars, and I do not accept electric cars as sort of our magic bullet for solving the climate change crisis and everything. It is an improvement, but it's not like electric cars do anything regarding the sustainability of just how cities are designed. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a car, all right? And along that line, it still has the same effects of promoting wasteful land use, and sort of the isolationism, I guess, or sort of the isolation that we find ourselves in when it comes to sort of suburbia and sort of the urban landscape that we've built around the automobile, the personal automobile. Um, Anyways, that is why I'm sort of at this weird stage of not only looking upward in the utility industry, but also looking laterally at opportunities like working for Coda or working for transit agencies, or really transportation industries in general, because that's where I see the next sort of low hanging fruit as far as impact on our planet, you know. And so that's kind of, for those of you who have been kind of puzzled as to sort of what the fuck I'm doing with my career and my life, that's it. And yeah, I mean, it's just been a weird sort of year in the past, because yeah, it has been, and like, especially honestly since my return to Columbus. And I have to, if I'm gonna be very honest, and let's just, let's just start calling out some things. After all, I did say I wanted some candor, and I wanted this to be real. All right, no sugarcoating and no bullshit. But I'm honestly just increasingly, and I'm sort of, yeah, I'm really disappointed, I guess, because I just remember I just remember when I was in Louisiana, and it just felt like a lot of my Columbus friends were really pushing me to come back home. They were really, they really felt, I really felt this sort of lure back to Columbus by some key friends of mine who I had considered very close to me. And yeah, it's odd because I've been back in Columbus since August, and many of these people who I had considered like best friends in Columbus, Ohio, not that long ago, and even as recently as like when I was in Alexandria, I just feel I can't help but just hear a sort of deafening silence from these people, from these individuals. Like, I've reached out to a lot of them on an individual basis to hang out, to just have coffee, hang out, catch up. And by golly, like, it is strange and sort of like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, I almost all, there's been a significant number of them who have just been radio silent. And, I get that as we get older and as time goes on, there's a natural sort of ebb and flow to our friends. That's just life. And I've gone through that before. So I feel like I'm sort of cognizant of that sort of natural tendency to sort of drift in and out of some of my different friends' lives. But this particular time in Columbus, especially when especially when I couple that with some moments, hell, just even in the last month, where I really needed some support. Not even just money support, but just like, I don't know, just friends. Fuck, like, I know I've harped on this before, but like, the worst part of being homeless is not necessarily like the not having a house over my head, all right? And I've said that pretty consistently, I think. The worst part of it is the loneliness. And when this whole thing started, like, and hell, I mean, I should say, like, I should kind of rewind to Portland, I guess. The very first time I was homeless, like, I didn't look at it with a sense of shame. In fact, I don't know, maybe this is going to sound kind of, I can't wait to see what feedback I get on this in terms of my own self-delusion here. But I kind of compared myself to Jesus a little bit. And I know that sounds absurd. Let me finish the thought. But the notion of Jesus kind of coming down and sort of being with and among the people, I feel a large sense of that now, with me not that long ago being bougie as fuck and making copious amounts of money as a pretty high skilled engineer and stuff. There was a sense of sort of a socioeconomic Jesus thing that I was doing. The idea that I was descending down to sort of the street level from my metaphorical I guess palace in the sky, if you will, to sort of be among everyday people, and including like the homeless, the those that are on kind of not kind of just having some bad luck and etc. And oh man, there's been a point, and I think it was for me like when I reached the 1 year point, like this past January, at which I really had to zoom out and be like, whoa, this is no longer like me being a well-off, educated professional sort of taking a sabbatical and sort of seeing what it's like on the ground level. There was a point at which ground level kind of is slowly creeping into becoming normalized for me. And I haven't really taken a time. I'm almost kind of dreading doing the math here and looking back on the tape here. But I was really starting to wonder, wow, has it been more years, more time in my sort of adult life by now that I've been broke as fucking homeless versus the amount of time spent as a young professional with good money and stuff? Like, I really feel like I'm approaching that sort of break-even point to where, wow, maybe I really can't identify anymore as a young professional who's sort of being a homeless tourist, if you will. Maybe I really am now, like a plebeian, or what, as a sort of identity. And that's something I didn't really, I have to admit, like, it's sort of something that I didn't anticipate. The sort of the self-identity of being poor versus the self-identity of being a bougie, comfortable, upper middle class person who's just kind of taking a break from all those trappings to sort of, to sort of walk among the people. So, yeah, that's that. And oh goodness gracious, I'm just looking at Facebook. Sucks. I hate Facebook. I don't know. I'm just gonna shut up now for a while, and I guess I kind of did that thing again where in the absence of any other participation, I just felt the need to fill the air. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes and just kind of enjoy the silence. I'm not going to talk. This is now the time when I challenge you to contribute something towards this conversation, because I guess we can't really call this a conversation if it's just me talking and me just kind of, me just being hard on myself. I need you guys to kind of tell me what's wrong, what's right, what do you see from your vantage point out there in Facebook land, or when you kind of look at, or just how you look at me in real life. Like, are some of the things I'm saying valid? Are some of them just me being full of shit again? Talk. In the meantime, I'll put some music on. Why not? We'll tempt copyright Karen here by playing some illegally distributed music from Spotify. Well, here, shit. Let's see. I was gonna try to have you guys choose what music we're gonna do, but you know what? Fuck you guys. You guys don't deserve that privilege until you start giving me some comments. Fuck's sake. So go. don't even know where the music's coming from. If it's it's actually coming from my computer speakers. Okay. For that matter, I'm not even sure how you guys can hear, or if you guys are hearing me through the headphones or from the mic. Maybe we can start with some viewer feedback on just the basic audio test, okay, that you can actually hear me. So please, obviously, if you cannot hear me, say so. That would be a good start to making this a conversation and kind of, giving me some, a sanity check here. Wesley, there we go. Thank you for commenting, sir. Good day. Thank you. Today was a really lousy day, actually, but I'm glad but hopefully you're having a good day. Thank you for chiming in, Wesley. Oh dear. Is Facebook gonna be? Is this? I fucking hate Facebook sometimes. Or maybe it's a Spotify thing where every time I click on the Facebook window, it stops the music, which I'm guessing means you can't actually hear me. That you're just seeing me mouthing a bunch of words and assuming that I'm actually saying something. Alright. Well, thank you for saying hi, Wesley. And, gosh, Zumbizi Bay, it is that time of year, isn't it now? Hope you have fun. Hopefully some cute boys with it, doing cannonballs in the pool. I hate this stupid shit. Keeps stopping my music. I hate this. Like, don't even get me started. Wesley, can you actually hear me? Like, I do need a confirmation that you can hear me. Because if you're just, like, seeing this on your phone while you're doing other things, then for all I know, you're just sort of assuming that I'm talking, but not actually verifying it. Or, like, listening to anything I'm saying. So, like, you can actually hear me, right? Oh, God, I hope so. Shit, otherwise this would be yet another like waste of my time. But I'm hoping that at least the basic premise of me being... Oh, thank you. Oh, weird noises. Probably from the music I was trying to play. Go fucking figure. And also probably because it's recording from the microphone of my laptop instead of these $200 AirPods that were just doing nothing. I don't know. But thank you for that. That's actually good to know. Thank you. I might just be maybe tapping on a table. You might just be catching some stray sound on that. So thank you very much, Wesley. I needed a sanity check, and you, sir, have provided that. Thank you. Well, I'm going to continue the music. Hopefully it's not the music. Oh yeah, the captions. Okay, if the captions are on, then that okay. If the captions are like actually generating text, then that must mean the audio that we're picking up my voice. That's good. Thank you very much for that comment, Wes. I appreciate that. I do cuss way too much, and that is actually one of the sort of idiosyncrasies that I was reflecting on as I was going back through my old footage. So I do need to work on that. So that is excellent feedback for me, Wesley. Thank you. Facebook's probably rating my content like adults only or something like that because of the amount of cursing I've been doing on these things. Like I really ought to fix that. Thank you very much, Wesley. Appreciate you. wonder if I could do a screen share on this. Maybe our next little experiment. Never mind, I just pissed off the computer again. Computer says no. Music! Oh, again. Music! It does not appear that I can do a screen share in the middle of a live broadcast. It does not appear to be. I think I have to like either do all screen share or all this on the live camera. It's too bad. Yeah, I cannot. Okay, interesting. I cannot switch to screen share in the middle of this thing. Oh dear. Dear. I hate Facebook Live. Oh, I hate Facebook Live. Meow, meow, meow. I'll tell you what, Wesley. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna end this broadcast, and you're gonna get. I'm gonna reply to you, or actually, and also just put a comment. Follow the link that I put on. I'm gonna take us into our private little virtual room here. That's on the website, on the Transverse website. So stand by. I'm going to give you a link, and that way I think you can actually screen share your side too. I believe. Oh, don't. Okay, and of course now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, Wes. You got shit to do. I get it. I was gonna try to involve you a little bit in this, but if you do decide to make this a conversation, not just me, then come along to Studio One, which is the link I'm gonna share with you right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out this Facebook Live post. And for those of you who want to continue the conversation, come on over to Studio One at transverse.org/live, which is linked below in the comments. Until next time, Facebook lands, this has been Mike George coming at you live from Crimson House in Columbus. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Toodaloo.